HDFC Midcap Opportunities Fund, which was launched in 2007, Prableen. What stands out here?
It's the consistency and the same fund manager, Alex, again, for this fund. It's Mr. Chirag Sitalbad, who's been managing this fund since 2007. And there is a beautiful consistency in the way it has been managed. The top allocations have always stayed below 5% for the top stock pick. And it was, about 4.5% in 2019. Today, it is at 4.19 for the top stock holding. And the percentage allocation, for example, the top 10 stocks was roughly around 29%. 5 years back, it's still at around 30% 5 years later. Number of stocks overall has remained the same, 70, roughly around 70. And it's, of course, a bottom approach to stock picking, low turnover. So equity turnover is around 19.61. On a 3-year rolling return basis over a 10-year period, Alex, it's given 20.35% returns, which is slightly above the benchmark. In the mid-caps, because it's a mid-cap fund, it's been really hard to beat the benchmark. The fund has managed, although with a thin margin, but it's one of the few funds which has actually beaten the benchmark in the mid-cap space on a rolling return basis as well as on XIR return basis. And it's again a huge corpus. It's about 76,000 crores. And we've seen the reduction in the expense ratios here as well. So one of the consistent performers with consistency in the fund manager's approach and style as well over these years.
The same fund house, HDFC Flexi Cap, is number 3 in terms of assets under management. And it's one of the oldest funds we're talking about. 1995 January is when the inception happened. What stands out?
Oh, amazing. It's like a 3-decade old fund, Alex. It's amazing. It's almost, doubled the NAV every 4 years. So at times it's doubled it in 2 years. There have been phases where it's doubled it in 6 years. So at an average, it's a 4-year doubling of the NAV that the scheme has given. It was managed by Mr. Prashant Jain till he exited HDFC, and now it's managed by Roshi Jain since 2022. And I think she's just sort of made the fund a little more balanced. It was more value-oriented earlier. And I think with her style of management, it's slightly more balanced, looking at a bit of momentum, growth, as well as value overall. The fund is large cap tilted. So if you look at data from 5 years back, it had about 89% in large caps. Today, it's sitting at around 75% in large caps. And it has a decent cash component at present. Again, a bottom-up approach to stock picking. And it's done well for its investors, managing to beat the benchmark, not with a very, very huge margin, Alex, but it has. Over a 10-year period on a 3-year rolling return basis, the returns have been roughly around 16.37 as compared to the benchmark returns of 15.13. And SIP returns have been, again, over and above the benchmark by 3%. So great performance. And the scheme has managed to lower its down capture ratio in the last 5 years. So there was a bit more volatility in the fund's performance earlier if you look at the standard deviation and the upside and the downside captures. And that has actually reduced, so which is good for the fund. And of course, again, a huge AUM of about 66,000 crores, which the fund has.
Okay.